What if I told you that you could design the perfect product by reading negative reviews? My name is Shadi. I'm the co-founder and creative director of FittDesign, the world's first digital fashion sportswear design agency. And I've worked with thousands of brands over the last 10 years to help them bring their ideas for their activewear brands from concept to execution. Number one and most underrated spot that you can go to learn what not to do is Amazon. That should give you an indication. It should be where customers' negativity goes to that should highlight to you the biggest points of improvement. And what I've seen by personally looking at thousands of negative reviews is that customers are complaining predominantly about three key things. Number one, the fit. Customers always complain about fit, and there's specific areas in the leggings that they are complaining about that I'm going to be discussing in today's episode. Second is going to be the comfort, specifically in terms of how the garment sits on the wearer and how it performs. And then lastly, customers are effectively complaining about the fabric. That's exactly what we're going to be discussing in today's episode. The first complaint that I always see has to do with how the legging fits on the waist. So it ends up pinching the waist and causing what we call as the muffin top effect. So what are the primary reasons for this? Either the legging or the waistband is too tall or too short. If it's too short, it's going to pinch at a part in the waist that is just going to collect as much fat as possible, which is going to cause that muffin top effect that you want to avoid. And if it's too tall, what's going to happen is it's going to hit at the part of the waist where, let's just say, it's just above your inflection point. My recommendation, and you tend to see this a lot on high quality leggings, is they tend to be cut on a curve. Lululemon does this a lot with their leggings because if you look at the physique of a woman, her hips are always going to be wider than the waist. And at the same time, by cutting on a curve, it's going to contour the body naturally and it's going to hold you in all the right places. That's a core pro tip. Number two is bad fabric, and specifically what most customers are talking about with this fabric is fabric that stretches out way too easily over time, so it ends up losing its shape because there's just not enough spandex in there. What is spandex? Well, spandex is a fiber that's added, that's a translucent fiber that helps a garment to stretch and to rebound without losing any of its original shape. How to fix this? My recommendation is make sure that you use a fabric with at least 20% elastane or spandex in it, especially for a fitted legging. At the same time, make sure that you're using the right GSM. What is GSM? GSM stands for grams per square meter, which has to do with the thickness of the fabric. The thicker the fabric, the higher that GSM is going to be. Best recommendation for daily activewear leggings that are going to be put towards low to medium intensity training, you want to stay around a 220 GSM to 230 GSM. Mistake number three, and I see this all the time, and this is one of the biggest pain points for a lot of customers, are leggings that bunch up with excess fabric in all the wrong places. When you have a legging that's meant to fit like a second skin, it's meant to accentuate all of the things that you're proud of, and it's meant to hide the things that you're working on. Maybe there's too much actual fabric on the knee area, or there's too much fabric on the ankle area, or too much fabric on the waist. Or sometimes, and I tend to see this, a company will design the perfect pair of small size leggings because that's the block fit that they're using. That's why we definitely recommend every single product you create should have not only the core block fit in a size that you're testing out at the office or at your design studio, but also a full sizing chart that covers the full size range that you're going to run for that specific product that has the key points of measurement. Another thing that is definitely worth mentioning is that you get a lot of fabric that's bunching up around the crotch area. And this typically tends to be because of either incorrect sizing the area or the wrong construction. My recommendation is definitely avoid having a traditional sort of crossover intersection like you would with a pair of pants that aren't going to be cut as tightly, and go for some sort of diamond gusset that's a piece of fabric that's shaped like a diamond that forces that intersection to kind of not happen at the intersection. Number four, customers are consistently complaining against faded washes. There's a variety of different reasons why this might happen. Number one is when you are actually washing the garment, you may be using the wrong washing instructions. Number two, make sure that you're using the right dyeing methods. The best dye methods are going to be roll dyed fabric. If you're peaching the fabric, then you want to make sure that the colors that are being used are sensible with the pilling effect. One additional tip against making sure the colors are not faded is pre-wash your samples. Like when you receive samples, wash them through a couple of different cycles, couple times. Put them through their paces. See how the fabric and the coloring performs over an extended period of time to make sure that what you're getting is correct. Mistake number 5, and I tend to see this a lot as well, is when customers complain that the fabric or that the stitching specifically is extremely uncomfortable. They just leave a sense of irritation. My recommendation is use a 3-needle 5-thread finish, which is going to be an extremely flat profile finish that has an overlock finish on the outside to reinforce it and to add stretch to it. Number 2 is going to be on the inseam. Never ever use an open or a plain seam where the fabric is just simply folded in and you have the seam allowance in and rubbing up against the entirety of your inseam. Flat seam is essentially where they take the 2 fabrics, they'll put them edge to edge with a small overlap, and then they'll put 2 needles on each side, so a total of 4 needle with a looper or 2 looper threads, making a 4-needle 6-thread flat seam, which is going to reduce irritation, it's going to maximize stretch, and it's going to increase the durability of the garment. Mistake number 6 is a poor fit around the calf and the ankles. And typically what happens is it fits nicely around the calf, but around the ankle you end up with this kind of like bell shape where it bellows out. By getting both of those measurements correct, you're essentially making sure that the garment isn't too wide at the ankle and not too tight on the calf, or vice versa. Number 2 is also make sure that you're using the right type of finishing at the bottom. Use a 3-needle 5-thread, so use a turned up hem to finish the bottom with a 3-needle 5-thread finish that has an overlock finish that's going to give the garment stretch. Don't use a double needle because, especially if it's cut quite tightly, the double needle can wear out over time and can kind of look quite cheap. Well guys, that is it. That is a wrap on this episode. That's been my key takeaways from reading over 1,000 negative reviews over the last 10 years of products that I've seen on market, products that you might even know and love, and that you might have experienced these problems with yourself. So what we can learn from this is that through the power of negative reviews, we can take inspiration and we can learn the lessons that others have had to learn for us so that we don't have to make these same mistakes as entrepreneurs and as fashion brands. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please consider smashing a massive thumbs up. It really helps us out. It keeps us motivated to keep pumping out this content for you, as we have been doing for the last 8 years on this channel. So I say this from the very bottom of my heart. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to this episode of Fit Design TV. Until next week's episode, stay awesome.